Tonight, unraveling Obamacare. President Trump cuts off critical payments, a sweeping move that could send premiums soaring for millions of families. What happens now? Another major story confronting Iran. The president blasts the nuclear deal but doesn't kill it, pushing Congress to act, while others argue the deal is working and that he's creating an international crisis. Deadliest week, a tragic new turn as the winds intensify in California, families unable to escape the fires. New revelations about those first moments of terror in Las Vegas when a killer took aim inside the hotel, then opened fire on the crowd below. Up, up, and away, a kaleidoscope of colors. Come along for a spectacular ride. Also tonight, why millions of you are about to see more money in the mail.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening, and thank you for being with us tonight. In a flurry of announcements and signings over the last 24 hours, President Trump has taken dramatic steps to unravel two major Obama-era initiatives. The president making his most aggressive move yet to pull the legs out from under Obamacare. The White House, in a late-night statement, announcing an end to subsidy payments to insurers. The president taking matters into his own hands after Congress's failure to repeal and replace the law, one of Mr. Trump's signature campaign promises. And also today, the president took a big step toward abandoning the Iran nuclear deal. More on that in just a moment. But first, to the big news that could affect health care for millions. Our Kristen Welker has details.
The move could be a dagger to Obamacare, scrapping a key subsidy to insurance companies.
So we're going a little different route. But you know what? In the end, it's going to be just as effective, and maybe it'll even be better.
So now the U.S. government will no longer provide money to insurance companies to help pay for health care for low-income Americans on the Obamacare exchanges, some 6 million people. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says the move could leave 1 million fewer people insured and increase Obamacare premiums by 20%.
That money is going to insurance companies to prop up insurance companies.
To help lower-income
people. That money is going to insurance companies to lift up their stock price.
Baltimore graduate student Jess Wilhelm, who suffers from chronic asthma, has Obamacare and worries his premiums will skyrocket.
My biggest concern is losing the subsidies in the next year and potentially having premiums go up.
Democratic leaders blasted the move as a spiteful act of vast, pointless sabotage, and even some Republicans lashed out.
Low-income people are going to have a very difficult time. In fact, for some, it may be impossible.
The president appears to be getting closer to his campaign promise to repeal Obamacare, but still no sign of a replacement. Yesterday afternoon, issuing an executive order that will allow insurance companies to sell cheaper policies with less coverage.
It was viewed to be absolutely irresponsible to blow up the insurance markets, pull health care away from citizens who currently have it, without making sure there was a replacement plan in place.
But for some of Mr. Trump's supporters, the move is a campaign promise kept.
He's doing the right thing. You know, Obamacare has hurt so many people.
Kristen, no matter what you think of the law, if you're on Obamacare, you have been on a roller coaster ride these last several months. So what happens now? Where's this going?
Well, the subsidies won't be sent for the next enrollment period, Lester, which starts November 1st. But 15 states have already sued the federal government trying to block the move, and adding to the urgency, bipartisan negotiations on Capitol Hill aimed at finding a fix. Lester.
All right, Kristen Welker at the White House tonight. Thank you. Now to the other major move by the president, announcing in a fiery speech he is refusing to certify the Iran nuclear deal brokered during the Obama era, saying it will lead to more violence, chaos, and Iran's nuclear breakout. But he is stopping short of withdrawing from the deal for now. NBC News Chief Foreign Affairs Correspondent Andrea Mitchell has more.
In a blistering indictment of Iran's terrorism, starting with the hostage-taking at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran in 1979, the president tonight threatening to quit the Iran nuclear deal unless Congress and the allies fix what he sees as serious flaws.
In the event we are not able to reach a solution working with Congress and our allies, then the agreement will be terminated.
The president ordering new sanctions against Iran's hardline Revolutionary Guard, instructing the intelligence agencies to reinvestigate reports Iran is dealing with North Korea. demanding Congress restrict Iran's missile program and make all restrictions on the nuclear program permanent under U.S. law. All very doubtful.
Our Congress is highly unlikely to be able to resolve this issue.
The reaction immediate. Iran's President Rouhani calling the Trump language cursing. NBC's Ali Arouzi.
Here in Tehran, there's a mood of anxiety and anger. A senior Revolutionary Guard commander saying Iran has buried many like Trump and knows how to fight against America.
And in an unprecedented joint rebuke, America's closest NATO allies, the leaders of Britain, Germany, and France, saying they are concerned by the possible implications of the president's decision not to recertify Iran as complying.
He's trying to negotiate a prenuptial agreement after the marriage.
Tonight, the UN's nuclear watchdog confirmed that Iran is living up to its nuclear commitments. And former Secretary of State John Kerry, who negotiated the deal, accused the president of creating an international crisis. Lester?
Andrea Mitchell tonight. Andrea, thank you. We got to tell you now about a grim turn in the wildfire disaster raging through California. The death toll now at least 32, which makes it the deadliest week from wildfires in that state's history. And there's no sign of a let-up coming. In fact, the winds are shifting, bringing new fears about the weekend ahead. NBC's Joe Fryer is there for us.
With dangerous winds ramping up tonight, the fight to save wine country is intensifying. Vineyards are working overtime to save grapes, while the town of Geyserville has a front row view of the battle.
I'd rather be looking at the mountains right now.
Yeah, it's very anxiety producing.
This is my house right here.
Many of those who've died in the fires were in their 70s and 80s, but one victim was 14-year-old Kai Shepard, killed while trying to escape. His parents and sister were severely burned.
We will pool our collective hope and strength, and we will rebuild the Shepards.
In Santa Rosa, more than 2,800 homes were destroyed, including the house that belonged to the late Charles Schulz, creator of the Peanuts comic strip. But the museum that pays tribute to him is still standing.
It was a treacherous night for all of us.
The fire came so quickly, John and Jan Pasco say their only option was to jump into their neighbor's pool, where they stayed for 6 hours.
Most terrifying part was when that tree went up, then this tree that went up, because the heat was pretty intense.
We got jambalaya already prepped.
Celebrity chef Guy Fieri lives in Santa Rosa. He rounded up friends to make thousands of meals for evacuees and first responders.
We give them comfort food, you know, and then in a time like this, I think comfort food makes people really feel good.
A new red flag warning takes effect tonight. Wind gusts could top 50 miles an hour at higher elevations over the weekend, which has everyone here on high alert. Meanwhile, investigators say they're still looking into what started all these fires.
They just can't catch a break. All right, Joe, thanks very much. Now to that other disaster impacting Americans. The president tweeting today he will always be with the people of Puerto Rico after warning yesterday that FEMA and federal responders couldn't stay there forever. And tonight, new questions about how some of those relief workers are using time and resources as desperation grows around them. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez is there.
The three-star general in charge of the military relief effort here says this is the worst disaster he's ever seen.
We have far more federal troops here and have been here for many weeks.
As for FEMA, it has 1,100 workers in Puerto Rico, compared to 3,000 for Hurricane Irma and almost 4,000 for Hurricane Harvey.
We have the right amount of people here. We're bringing more people in.
Tonight, new questions about what some volunteers are doing. A senior leader with the Federal Disaster Medical Assistance Team is upset. Volunteers paid for spa treatments inside tents meant to treat non-critical patients.
My team members who have come to Puerto Rico to help these poor people are having spa day? It's beyond comprehension.
The Department of Health and Human Services says one example of poor judgment should not overshadow the life-saving work being performed by the more than 500 HHS personnel on the island. Today, a bipartisan congressional delegation, including House Speaker Paul Ryan, visited Puerto Rico, touting a $36 billion aid package the House just passed.
Our fellow citizens, we are all in this with each other for the long haul.
At San Juan's airport, heartbreak. This woman clutching her 5-month-old daughter as she leaves for the U.S. mainland. Her message to Congress, we need help. Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Now to a powerful new installment in our series, One Nation Overdosed. It's estimated that our country now has nearly 1 million heroin users, and the death rate associated with the drug is skyrocketing. But the smallest victims of this crisis don't often get counted in the statistics, the children. Kate Snow went to one of the hardest hit parts of the country, Dayton, Ohio, to see how one hospital has had to change everything to help children.
Are you hiding?
Jude Seidler is the unlikely face of a crisis. The precocious 2-year-old was born to a mother who used heroin throughout her pregnancy. At 9 days old, he went home with adoptive parents Ashley and Jay, and ever since, they've been bringing him to Dayton Children's Hospital.
We've been able to chart his progress and where he is on the scale.
What do you think? How's he doing?
He's doing great.
At the newborn follow-up clinic, 5 specialists have been checking Jude's development to make sure his speech, movement, coordination are all on track.
Can you tell me, is they open?
It's just one corner of a children's hospital that's had to adjust to a new reality, the impact of an opioid epidemic.
She said that people were smoking and drinking in the car.
A virtual army of doctors, nurses, and social workers meet every week to coordinate. Their mission, do whatever it takes to save kids. One of the hospital's biggest success stories is the place where babies like Jude start out, the newborn intensive care unit.
Hi, gorgeous.
Ashley Hudson is feeding her 12-day-old Alasia, determined to learn from what happened last year when her newborn son passed away.
Can I ask what happened?
He was born very early, just had a lot of problems.
And was that because of drug use?
That was because I was in active addiction, yes.
That must have motivated you to want this pregnancy to be different.
Yeah, right away I was like, I can't live through that again.
Everything's kind of fallen into place.
Ashley stopped using heroin weeks into this pregnancy and is doing well, but Alasia still went through withdrawal.
We want to maximize the things that we can do that don't involve giving them medication. That's holding, it's cuddling, it's a darkened room, it's mom being present.
And that bonding is working. The average hospital stay here for a baby born dependent is down from 58 days to just 17. Down in the ER, there's another pressing issue. The number of kids 14 and under who accidentally ingested drugs has more than doubled in recent years.
Kids are exploring at the age of 2, 3, 4. They find a baggie on the floor, smells good or looks interesting. I'm gonna put some of this in my mouth.
How do you know if a child is, out of it because they're on opioids?
Autopsy.
You're okay, you're okay. Jude is a success story so far, but Dr. Eileen Caston, who heads the follow-up clinic, worries for kids who were exposed to opioids in the womb.
I think we're going to have to see what they're like as adults. Are they going to be able to work? Are they going to have families? Are they going to have problems with addiction themselves? I don't know those answers.
They're also seeing a lot of kids at the hospital who were abused and neglected. Lester, this summer, a 13-month-old baby came in with an overdose.
And I can imagine a lot of hospitals on this learning curve right now.
Yeah, and they're all learning from each other.
All right, Kate, thank you very much. Now to an NBC News investigation uncovering new evidence about the flow of money from Russia to the one-time chairman of the Trump campaign, Paul Manafort. Tonight, exclusive new information revealing millions going to companies linked to Manafort from a Russian billionaire with ties to Vladimir Putin. NBC News chief foreign correspondent Richard Engel has all the details.
Tonight, with Paul Manafort, a key focus of investigators looking into connections between Russia and the Trump team, our NBC News investigation reveals new evidence of the money trail connecting Manafort, President Trump's former campaign chairman, to Moscow. $26 million more than has been reported before. Money loaned to Manafort before 2012 by this man, Oleg Deripaska, a Russian billionaire with close ties to Vladimir Putin. Which may explain why, according to recently leaked emails, Manafort offered the Russian a private briefing about the Trump campaign.
They were unsecured loans.
Right.
So we don't know if they were paid?
You can call it a loan, you can call it Mary Jane. If there's no intent to repay it, then it's not really a loan, it's just a payment. And money launderers frequently will disguise payments as loans.
Using official company records from several countries, we were able to trace 2 loans, one for about $26 million and another for about $7 million, made by a company owned by Deripaska to 2 companies linked to Manafort in Cyprus. They, in turn, lent at least $27 million to a Delaware company named after Manafort's 2 daughters. In total, at least $60 million